Hi, my name is Stephanie, and today I'm going to be discussing Rigor Mortis, how sloppy science creates worthless cures, crushes hope, and wastes billions by Richard Harris. So, this book was actually just published back in April of this year by Basic Books, which is a subsidiary of Hatchet Book Group, and is 278 pages, about 236 if you don't include the acknowledgements, the selected bibliography, and the index, which I have not yet read through. I do plan on going through the selected bibliography though. I did give this book 4 stars, and I highly recommend it as a read. If you want to find out why, please keep watching. So, I think Harris points out a lot of good things. So he is an NPR science journalist, and he was bothered by a bunch of the reports that were going across the system. So he really went through to kind of discover more about some of the inconsistencies and issues he was seeing. And he decided to meet with a bunch of people and write it all up in a book. I have worked in biomedical research in academia. I worked for a university lab that was under a cancer center. So I was doing cancer biology, which is actually one of the biggest issues he's talked about. It's the lack of is in cancer biology, because it's such a big part of biomedical research at the moment. And he covers a lot of issues, from funding to data that isn't reproducible even from the highest magazines like Nature and Science. And he also goes into issues like scientists being bad at math, which I do have math weaknesses, I will admit, as much as I love math. And I think his tone is a bit admonishing, which is the point, but he's also hopeful. He not only covers the issues and the reasons he thinks those issues are there, but he also talks about all of the people, or at least a number of people who are already working on solving the issues that he's found in the field. He goes through each chapter, talks about the issue, but always ends with a story of someone trying to make it better, trying to improve the field. And I liked that, because I do enjoy the field. I liked working in that lab and would still be there if I had not moved. And so as much as I like it, I do know that he's right. There are a lot of issues, and there are a lot of issues that are not being discussed openly and with enough people. I did not like that he kind of left out of his discussion the gulf that exists between the general public and scientists. And by gulf, I mean the understanding that science changes. You see a headline and a lot of people think, oh, this is forever fact. He kind of mentions it, and in his conclusion he does talk about it a little bit, but I don't think he gave enough discussion to the general public side of things. I think this book really is more geared towards people working in biomedical research who really should be aware of these issues and really should be discussing them. And so I think this book, I do recommend it to the general public, because it is a good primer on looking at some of these headlines. It's a good primer for doing your own kind of digging into papers and academic journals, but it really is kind of geared towards the researcher, who I agree should be aware of these things. And I rated it 4 stars because I do plan on reading it again. I am currently looking for a job, and it will probably be an industry, but I still want to read it again so that when I start, it is at the forefront of my mind to be careful, to bring up issues where I see them, because I think that it's important. And if my generation of scientists can't do that, then how is science going to change? This is short, but the book is short, and I highly recommend it. And there's not much else to say to that. He can be a little repetitive. I think I missed mentioning that, but I think he's just kind of frustrated about a couple of the issues. And I just want to leave with the last sentence, because I think I really like it. And in the end, it speaks to a value that many scientists hold deeply. Being right should matter most of all. I like that that's how he ended it. I like that. A positive note. Have you read this? What are your thoughts? Have you actually read something that's in the vein of this book, and do you recommend it? Thank you for watching, and if you want to keep up with what I'm reading, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.